everybody, this is Marie and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. Today we're going to be talking about Sudan, the country. Now, before we get started, for those interested, today I'm going to be using the Light Seers Tarot deck. Pretty cool deck, love it. And I also wanted to give a huge shout out to my current and my new subscribers. I am speechless, guys. You guys are so awesome. I appreciate the views. I appreciate the traffic to my YouTube, especially YouTube. Big shout out to you all. Rumble as well. I am shocked in my BitChute channel as well. You guys have showed up, you guys have shared, and you guys have subscribed. I have no words. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is so awesome, guys. Thank you so much. So to get back to the topic, I wanted to talk about Sudan, and I don't think it's being talked about enough or as much in the mainstream media. There were some distraction. However, as soon as the Tucker Carlson news came about between him and Fox News parting ways, everybody been focusing on that. But I felt like I still needed to do a video about it. Now, apparently, based on anons and researchers that I follow on Telegram, and a lot of them have mentioned that the Sudan, in February of this year, it seems like Russia wanted to either build, or they were planned, or there was an agreement in place, or I'm not sure whether it was cemented or whether it was talks, but Russia was supposed to build a Navy base in Sudan, and that was in February. So that's and then right in March, the civil war kind of sort of broke through between those two generals, and then since then war has broke out, and we're seeing all this drama unfold right before us, where I think as of now, and I'm not too sure about the details, about 15,000 U.S. Citizens, members are stuck in Sudan, and it appears that the Biden government may or may not be helping. So I'm kind of sketchy about that. So it feels a little bit about the same thing that occurred. When was that? Was it Afghanistan? The way that they pull out it looks like the same feel about that concerning the people leaving and not getting the proper support from the Biden administration. So that's another topic for another day. But it also, after a few more days, it's different anons again. Researchers have pointed out that there were biolabs in Sudan as well. So there's a lot going on here, and it seems that I'm not too sure whether or not those biolabs were targeted and bombed during the conflict. So there's so much information. It's kind of hard to know what's true or not. But regardless, we know that there's a conflict, and we know things are not going too great over there. And doing some research on Sudan, is neighbor to Egypt, Ethiopia, and it's right there by the Nile River that opens up to the how do you call it? I think the Indian Ocean or the Pacific Ocean, and it's a great real estate. It would be a great location for Russia if they decided to put that base, because it's right there smack in the middle of the Middle East, right there. A great location for Africa. I mean, let's ask the question, why the conflict? Because there's no way we would know for sure that one reason. I mean, so far we find out that the cards, many reasons can apply for, a conflict, what's going on. And a pity back, it looks like they may have been CIA agitator that kind of helped escalate the conflict between those two generals as well. So there's a lot going on here. But let's ask the card, why the conflict right now, right? Why the conflict in Sudan right now? And let's see what insight the cards wants to share. Why the conflict in Sudan right now? So the first card is the Hangman. The second card is the Six of Wands. So we're asking why. Two of Cups in the past. King of Pentacle, present. Two of Pentacle, potential outcome. Ten of Pentacle, clarification. Ace of Swords, clarification. So we're asking, why the conflict right now? So this is so interesting. The first card is the Hangman. Now usually the Hangman is about looking at things from a different perspective. So it looks like this whatever's been going on in Sudan, things have been either tense or people have been hanging on the balance for a very long time about the whole thing. And that whatever friction's been going on has been waking up people in a whole new way, because the Hangman is a major arcana, and this is the only card that we're seeing here in this spread that are major arcana. And every time that is a major arcana, you really want to pay attention, because that's the resounding theme for a particular spread or reading or situation, whatnot. So the Hangman is about, it's going to a period of sacrifice, going to a period of uncomfort, looking at things, and while you're at it, you're starting to look at things in different direction, and looking at way from different perspective. And in doing so, you become enlightened to the truth, to a deeper understanding. So I'm guessing the people over there in Sudan, they have been either on the brink of war for a very long time. They have been hanging on the balance. They have been suffering for a while now with that Hangman. And in doing so, they have been red-pilled about themselves, about their government, about everything around the world that affects them in correlation to the world and everything in between. So that's interesting. With that Six of Wands, it looks like that conflict was bound to happen. Usually Six of Wands is recognition, achieving a project victoriously. But in this sense, it feels like, that conflict's been maybe simmering for a while, and that it was bound to come out and reveal itself and become this big thing, make this big splash in spectacular fashion. Because I saw pictures they're really going at it. They're really destroying, bombing. I mean, it looks like war. I mean, it's a conflict, obviously, but it's not. It's open. It's and the destruction is real. And based on the different footages that I've seen so far. So with that 6 of Wands, is saying that they've been hanging on the balance for conflict to come out. It's as if that energy was bottling up for so long that it needed this outlet. And that 6 of Wands tells me that you know the outlet is happening right now, very much needed. I don't know why. uh, and it needed to come out, either for the world to see, or for people to acknowledge it, or everything in the above. 2 of Cups in the past tells me that there was an agreement of sort, a commitment, an agreement. So I don't know if that means with the Russia base. Maybe the Russia base is probably secondary, but maybe between the two generals that they agree to work together at one point in the past. However, uh, it looks like with the King of Pentacles. So usually King of Pentacle, in this sense, it feels like a person. Usually, King of Pentacles deals with wealth, deals with resources, deals with anything that is tangible, anything that is provides success, generosity, comfort to a group of people. And it looks like, and usually when I see king, it means different level of consciousness, different level of awareness. But here in this point, it feels like there was a person uh, that needed to hold power. I mean, I did read in passing that one of the general had to agree uh, to take the lead, and the other will have to be absorbed. And I think that's where everything fell apart. So I'm guessing, if this does it have to do about him, or does it have to do with a third party, another person who was supposed to be in control of the country, of the resources, and and managing everything properly. And it looks like they can come to an agreement. They can come to who's gonna be the lead person. And as a result, as a result conflict came about. 2 of Pentacles. So 2 of Pentacles is usually like juggling a situation. So right now, but here in this point, it seems like both of them, both party, is going to this dance, and in a real kinetic way. So that's an interesting way for the card to show conflict with that 2 of Pentacles. Because 2 of Pentacles, again, is about juggling, is about trying to balance out. So basically, those two factions are trying to I don't think they realize they're probably the same level of strength, and they're just circling each other. And it's not as if the card is giving um, a clear winner here. It looks like both are at the same power level, or the same technology, or troops, or whatever, and they're circling each other, and they're fighting each other. And in doing so, the people are, so every time that you see of 10, 10 means ending. So 10 of Pentacles means an ending of sort. So it means, that tells me that the population has waken up. Now, if there was a choice between one faction or the other, I think at this point, maybe neither option will do the thing, because of the level of destruction. People are just done with it, with the whole thing, because 10 means an awakened society. Every time I have 10 of Pentacles, especially Pentacle, it means a country, a group, um, an organization, fellowship. So it's as if the group of people has awakened, and whatever system that they have right now is no longer serving them, because now we see uh, uh, so yeah, whatever system that they were using is no longer serving them, or the type of government or whatever, it's not working for them anymore. and the 10 means that that way of life or that way of thinking or that way of governance is not going to work for the Sudanese people any longer. I hope I say it correctly. And also the Ace of Sword. Ace of Sword, I think everybody around the world, but particularly people in Sudan, they are completely awake, completely red pill. Let's say, because uh, Ace of Sword is about new beginning. Ace of Sword is about awareness, mental acuity, analytical power, all the above, because sword is about truth, words, information. And again, the sword is always harsh. It's never a fun card when you see, because that information is gonna cut right to the matter of things. And once you know, once you're aware, once you have that awakening, spiritual, intellectual, factual, whatever you want to call it, you're just not going back. And everybody's red pill right now in Sudan. Okay, so that's interesting. Um, so we kind of sort of know why the conflict. Um, let's ask who is behind this conflict, because we saw that King of Pentacle in the middle. So obviously somebody either has to control the resources, or somebody is currently controlling the resources with that King of Pentacle in the middle. So let's ask the question, who is behind this conflict happening in Sudan? So let's see if there's is this like, did the bad guy leave the country and then now the locals are fighting for power? Is that situation, or there's more at play here? So let's try to get a sense of who is behind the conflict in Sudan. So let's see if because there's a lot of theory out there. I mean, again, one grain of salt does not cause a sandstorm, but we can still try to get a close up, a close idea. So who is behind the conflict in Sudan? So the first card is Six of Swords, Seven of Cups, situation, Seven of Pentacles in the recent past, Two of Cups, present. So we're seeing that Two of Cups again. Potential outcome is the King of Pentacles. So we're seeing the King of Pentacles again. So at this point, I think it's either there's a third person involved here. Five of Wands, clarification, and Three of Cups, clarification. So right off the bat, there's two fives, conflict. There's two Seven of Pentacles. One is about fruit of your labor, and the other one is about confusion, different options. And then again, we're seeing the Two of Cups here in the middle, agreement, and King of Pentacles as the potential outcome. So we ask who is behind. So the Five of Swords, okay, it's acknowledging the conflict. It's acknowledging unrest. And in doing so, a lot of information is coming out. So it's not giving me, okay, we ask the question, who is behind? So I'm seeing the King of Pentacles as a potential outcome. So I guess he or she, but most likely a he, or a person, a she with a very masculine energy, but he feels like a man. Five of Swords. Um, so yes, there's a lot of conflict going on that we're aware of. Seven of Cups. It looks like there's a lot of fog of war, a lot of dysfunction happening right now on both faction or surrounding Sudan. So maybe information is going to be coming out eventually, like Seven of Pentacle. So Seven of Pentacle in the past. So every time you see Seven of Pentacle, but it feels like there's a lot of resources in Sudan. There's a lot of uh, earthly stuff. I don't know, for mining. That's very crucial or helpful. The soil or the location, or because every time that you see Seven of Pentacle is basically doing the work and waiting for your investment to come through, to bear fruit. And um, because Pentacle deals with anything that is tangible, resources, anything that deals with earth, anything that you can touch, really. So all the above can apply. I don't know what the Sudan is known for in terms of mining. I'm pretty sure somebody, please comment, share, like, subscribe. um, Let me know, what is the Sudan? What do they export? What are they known for? Is it like diamond, or is it like gold? Is it like something else that is even more valuable? Is it lithium? I don't know. But apparently, there's something in the earth uh, that's valuable, or either that, or the country has been either developing or trying to propel themselves on the next uh, phase of development. And Two of Cups, again, we're seeing an agreement was made at one point. So I'm guessing, is it between the two general? Is it between the country and Russia, or is it, what agreement was made? I mean, that's I would be very intrigued to hear what kind of commitment was made for Sudan. And then the outcome with the King of Pentacle, it tells me that there's a person who either is controlling the resources or he's supposed to control, but it seems like that King of Pentacle looks like he's the one that's controlling everything. But who is he? Is he the good guy? Is he the bad guy? It looks like at this point he's not looking too great here, because there's conflict around him with the Five of Wands. So is he like this person? Is he like another Trump who's supposed to be taking over, who's supposed to be moving the country in a different direction, and there's conflict around him because certain factions don't want him? I'm not too sure because I don't know much enough with Sudan to suggest. But the King of Pentacles is telling me that there's this person either in the forefront of Sudan or in the background that's either that's controlling the whole thing, that's controlling the resources, and there's a lot of conflict either around him or for him. And Three of Cups. So usually Three of Cups is a unity, a celebration of sort. So I wonder. So there's a conflict and a lot of dysfunctioning happening right now. Country has a lot of resources, or there was a lot of seeds that were planted to bear fruit, or maybe the country had a lot of projects going on to really cement their future, and there was an agreement of sort that was made. So that agreement part, that's what gives me pause. And it looks like we ask who. The King of Pentacles was the one who's behind it. Somebody who's very successful. Somebody who has a lot of power and influence. But there's a lot of conflict around him. And then with that Three of Cups, does it mean that he's popular with a minority group of the people? That's That would be interesting. It's kind of hard to tell. But okay, we know that the King of Pentacles is the one behind what's going on in Sudan. Who is he? I'm not great enough at politics in Sudan to determine, but I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping somebody in the comment section will be able to decipher who that is. So the question that we have, last question, what advice for the people of Sudan who's going through this major shift, whose lives are in disarray, and you know, the destruction, all this takes a toll on the psyche, and my heart goes out to these people. It looks like everywhere in the world this open conflict of some sort that's happening, and there's no words of comfort really, but I do want to acknowledge that they are suffering and that they are going through this. They're not alone. So what advice for the people in Sudan? Is this shift necessary for their development? I mean, what advice to the people in Sudan? The Tower card to answer the question. Strength. Four of Cups in the past. Six of Swords. The Hermit, potential outcome. The Fool. Knight of Wands. So the Tower card tells me that there's going to be a lot of more conflict, a lot of more events, situation. The Tower is always sudden change out of nowhere, and the fact that it's major arcana is telling me that, you know, things are going to intensify even more. With the Strength card, again, a major arcana, they want advice, they want people to stay strong, stay in their knowing, and on an emotional, physical, spiritual level, inner strength now more than ever. I think Four of Cups in the past tells us for a very long time people have been ignoring what's been happening on the political front, and because this is a card of boredom, apathy, indifference, and not really paying attention, being in your own world. So it looks like for a very long time the people of Sudan have been not dealing with politics or being in their own world and not really seeing what's happening. You see this cup is presenting in front of this lady, and she's not even paying attention to what's happening because her gaze is elsewhere, and she's not seeing what's happening in front of her. So it's as if people were not really paying attention what was happening, and now that they are, they have to because of the conflict. Six of Swords, they're not happy. They want to leave this, the way of living. They want to live this place, this conflict, this area, that area, the country maybe, because Six of Swords is about leaving behind what troubles you to go somewhere safe, somewhere better. And Sword also deals about, again, Sword is a little harsh, and it deals with truth, facts, information. So now that they have to confront it, maybe not, they want to leave it behind. They don't like what they're seeing. They don't like what they've been ignoring. And again, Hermit is about moving in a different direction, leaving behind what no longer serves you. So the Hermit is about seeking answers elsewhere, seeking refuge away from the madness. And again, the Hermit is a major arcana. So people, the collective, the population in general, they don't wanna deal with this conflict, whatever's happening in Sudan. They want they want to seek answers somewhere else. So either physically leaving the country, or they just want to be away from what's happening right now, because that's not the answer, right? Because you see this person, she's looking elsewhere for answers, the Hermit. So that's pretty interesting. And what rules the Hermit is Virgo, and Virgo is about being very analytical, inward as well. So a lot of people are reflecting, and a lot of people want to leave this behind. They're not happy. They don't want this. And um, the Fool is about wanting a new beginning. So again, every time that you see a Fool, something new is about to start, a new journey, a new chapter, and it's as if there's a rebirth of sort coming true, because this card, the Fool, have no number. It's a 0 card, and um, it's about launching the country, propel the country forward in a new direction, something more fresh, something better. So advice. So the Nine of Wands is about holding the line, stay strong, um, keep your motivation up, even though you're tired, even though you're weary, but try to keep your vibration, your spirits high, because new beginning is about, you're about to embark in a new beginning with that Hermit, with the Fool. Um, so that's the advice, because in the near future, with that three, I'm taking 2 more cards. 3 of Pentacles is saying collaboration. You're gonna be in the future, after all of this is over, the people will come together to build a solid foundation for their country. Um, but first, the truth have to come out, you know, about uh, the Sudan, about its practices, about what's been happening, because the Ten of Swords is about truth, words, information. Sometimes you have to die by the sword in order to live another day. And I know it makes no sense, but it does. Sometimes you know something's bad is gonna happen, and there's no way around it. You just have to accept it with as much dignity as possible, and then get up the next day, pick yourself up, and then start fresh. So that's basically what the advice is. It's harsh sometimes how the cards wants to explain things, but it looks like wow. So thank you guys for sticking to the end of this video. Let's pray for the people in Sudan to find light, to find the answer that they're looking for with that Hermit, to have fortitude, to stay the course so they can start that new beginning, that bright future that they have ahead of them. But they just have to hold on until this bad moment, this shift, this change is happening. Change is never good. It's never comfortable. It's never fuzzy. It's always uncomfortable. Hang in there, the people of Sudan. And thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.